Hello, everybody. Trent Suing here. I would like to use this evening to talk to the people in this world that are feeling suicidal. I feel you, brothers and sisters. I assure you, please hang in there. Life is going to get better. Just try to find any positive you possibly. Wow, that was weird. Wow. Did you guys just see that? Anyways, try to find the positive in life. I know your soul hurts, but I reassure you that your God within you is doing everything he can to try to get you to wake up and gain your consciousness. That way you can be one with your God. I know everything in society. It's like plants this negative seed that it wants you to commit suicide. I, please believe in me, nothing else. I do not want you to commit suicide. I want you to contact me. I will do everything in this world to help you, and I will show you what there is positive in this world worth living for. I have had, for example, my ex Nancy, who you can see in the comments, she's extremely abusive, fluctuating all over the place. And realize the 7 members in my family, I honestly feel were expecting me to commit suicide, and not a single one of them would even do as simple as tell me they love me until after they thought I had committed suicide when I did the crucifixion video. But how do people not stop and think? Crucifixion, death by others, suicide, death by yourself. To those suicidal people in this world, please, it doesn't matter if you're failing at your grades. It doesn't matter if your boyfriend just broke up with you. It doesn't matter if you're looking at extreme time in prison. I mean, let's be real about prison nowadays. There really is no extreme time anymore. Everybody's being released left and right due to COVID or laws changing or whatever. So, sure, you might end up having to do a little bit of time, but think of it this way, that's going to give you an amazing opportunity to get 3 meals a day, warm place to stay, and it's going to give you a ton of time to center yourself. Nothing else, watch my documentary, and you will gain your consciousness. And by doing that, I bet you're able to get out of prison even that much quicker. And if you're not, let me come talk to you. Let me help you. Reach out to me. I will try to help anybody in the world I have time to help. I said this at the beginning of the documentary. But I want you guys to realize that by no means would I ever take my own life. I've made it through way, way too much in my life, and you guys know I have, to even think about cashing in my tickets now. Why? I'm at the finish line. I'm with my God. I mean, party's over, guys. I made it. You haven't yet. I'm trying to help you make it. Realize in the last little over 30 days, how many people in the Benton County Health Department, Dana especially, how many people at Good Samaritan, how many times the suicide hotline has contacted me, how many times all my family members have mentioned suicide, how many times the cops have mentioned suicide. I have heard more about suicide projected onto me than I ever have in my entire life. I mean, you guys plant the suicide seed in people's brain so horribly. Why wouldn't you point out the positive? Why wouldn't you ask a person instead of, are you suicidal? Are you going to harm yourself? Why wouldn't you ask instead, what do you have to be happy about? What can we find that brings you happiness? What can I help you to feel good with yourself, to feel connected with your God? Why wouldn't that be a lot smarter thing to ask? Use your words to boost their spirit in itself instead of dragging them down. I mean, the last time Dana mentioned suicide to me, I got pissed. I'm so freaking tired of hearing people mention suicide. You sick individuals trying to plant that seed in so many people's heads. And it's affecting me. It's harming me. Not just because I'm tired of fighting off your guys' negativity, but no, because you guys are running your lips way, way more than you should be. And it just again bit you in the ass. How, might you ask? Well, guess what I received today in the mail? Look who it's addressed to. The Suing family. A letter from the funeral home I used to work at as a mortician and a director's assistant. Now, is that not ironic as hell that Benton County Health Department totally screws up and calls it a suicide when it was a crucifixion? Educate yourself, people. Anyways, and here I am receiving a letter asking how much money I make. If I do happen to die, who do I want to take care of my arrangements? That is some sick shit, people. Look at this. My address. Addressed to the Suing family, not even to me, when I'm the only one who lives here. Wanting to know what type of cremation or how much I want to spend on or how much the family wants to spend on my funeral. You sick SOBs. How dare you? One, pull your head out of your booty and at least do the research to see whether or not it was a suicide or whether or not it was a documentary representing crucifixion by one's own family, just like Jesus. McHenry Funeral Home, you have insulted me once again. Last time your funeral home insulted me was when I was working there and I was at the funeral of the crazy ex Nancy who keeps leaving all these horrible messages. And Jay happened to mention that after all, this is only a $6,000 funeral, so we need to get a move on. If you would have been watching the documentary, you would have noticed I mentioned that way back at the beginning. But no, once again, I basically predicted the future because I told you guys where I worked, about the funeral, about how they offended me and offended the whole entire family. So again, how am I making this up? One thing you'll notice, just like with Nancy, it's since we're going in reverse now, the people who are holding guilt can't help but confess. You know, I love my father, all that's behind, but at the very end, he couldn't help but give me the absolute best information he could have gave me if I wanted to do anything negative towards him. But I didn't. He's protected now. We're good. But Jim does know that very last bit of communication we had, boy, he tightened that noose right around his neck. But like I said all along, I'll protect all the ones I love. Unfortunately, Nancy, man, I can't protect you because your stinking mouth just keeps going and going and going. You know, I've said all through this documentary that, you know, you're going to end up getting yourself 30 years of silence, girl. Lay off the sauce. You know, it's almost cost you your child's life twice. Now, do you want it to end up causing you to spend the rest of your life in prison? See how much of your booze you could get at that point. Please, Nancy, wake up. Stop harassing me. The whole world is seeing this. You are going to end up having the whole world bring negativity onto you, and I can't protect you from that. Because you have a choice, and your choice is to attract all the negativity in the world. And I feel sorry for you. Our daughter needs you. So please, get your head on straight and start acting appropriately. For the love of your daughter. Because obviously you don't love yourself. Otherwise you wouldn't be acting this way to where the entire world can see it. And I'm sorry, but if I was your husband, fiance, or whatever he is, man, I would be cutting ties with you in a heartbeat because the negative publicity you're bringing on yourself, bad idea. You are not one who wants to be throwing stones in the glass house you definitely live in. But yeah, people, once again, look at this. Dana from the Crisis Center. Something tells me you might have had something to do with this. Does the Crisis Center happen to send funeral homes list of suicides? Well, that seems incredibly unethical, and that seems incredibly corrupt. But I think we're truly starting to see exactly how corrupt Corvallis, Oregon is. I mean, look at I've begged and begged and begged the chief of police of Corvallis to please just speak with me. I mean, the officers working underneath you, how can they have any respect for you when you won't even have a conversation? How can your family have respect for you when I've told you if you won't sit down in an interrogation room and have a conversation with me, that you'll leave me no choice but to come to your residence like you've had your employees do to me? Why don't you care enough about your neighbors and your family not to bring that to you, to your home? I care about that with mine. I hated you guys being here. But yet you're not thinking clearly. I've told you, I'm willing to sign a release where I wouldn't even sue you. I've told you that all I want to do is teach you guys. Wow, every single officer at Corvallis Police Department's got to be thinking, you know, only a guilty person wouldn't be talking right now. I'm unscripted. I'm only speaking the truths. That's why I never shut up. Chief of Police, I want to know your truths. Please, get a hold of me. Please, let's stop this. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, that's for sure. Anyways, I love you guys. I just wanted to share with you, yet again, more harm brought to me by the professionals that say they're here to help you. The crisis professionals, the police, Samaritan. Yeah. Wow. My eyes sure are open when it comes to the city of Corvallis, Oregon. You know, I look forward to make sure that the students of Oregon State University start understanding how careful they need to be because they do not have any civil rights in Corvallis, Oregon. I have extreme example of that. But that's okay. Once my crew and the House of Truths is on the road, we will get your civil rights back. I assure you. Because I love you guys. And I'm proud that you came to our fine city for your education. I received an education there, and obviously it's paying off. Because it's the one thing that's going to make all this get cleared up, and it's going to give me an amazing opportunity to spread grace to the less fortunate of the world. Pretty cool. Like I said, I'll find the positive in everything. That's a huge advantage over you because you're incapable of it. As of now, but I got faith. You'll come around. Anyways, have a good night.